come live, I've got something to say. There is something going on that you all need to hear about, and y'all need to get involved, whether it is, well, I'm going to have Dr. Garrett tell you what it is, but you need to get involved because this movement is moving. And let me tell you, the train has left the station, baby. You want to get on this train. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to be part of Dr. Garrett's team for Triumphant. So, Dr. Garrett, tell us all, what is Triumphant? What does it mean? Why am I so excited?
So Triumphant, and I want to do the little tag there too, because I think that's important. So Triumphant it's going to be multiple platforms where we can share stories of empowerment, of inspiration, and of success. And it's going to start with what we're here for today. Is going to start with a book, an anthology book, and going to bring some authors together to share these stories of inspiration, empowerment, and success. But it's we call it a movement because it's going to be so much more than that. It's going to be for people who also want to share their story on stage, who want to share their story on multiple different platforms, and it's really geared for those who are not just starting out, but definitely just starting out. If you're a novice to some of these aspects, you've maybe written some other anthologies and you're ready to take that to the next level to speak on stage, but you're not really quite sure how that works. That's why this is a thing, because it's not just producing a book, it's producing the confidence, it's guidance, it's telling you how you should speak with confidence, it's telling you how to up your game in writing these chapters, it's telling you how you can take the book and the speaking engagements and all the things that you're going to learn within this project and make it work for you to elevate you to that next level. So it really is, it's a movement. And so I love just this idea of redefining triumph one story at a time, because that's what we're doing. We're taking the triumph that we've already had and escalating that more to a whole new triumph, right? The whole new level of where we're going. And that's what Triumphant is all about. It's elevating us and then bringing people with us at the same time.
Oh my gosh. And I have to tell you all, I've known Dr. Garrett, I call him Dr. G. I've known Dr. G for a minute. I mean, we've known each other for a while, right? And so I just want to say for me to get involved and really get excited and back a book, the way that I feel about this, I will support any author. Of course, I support authors because that's part of the DNA of who I am. But there are people that are gifted to bring a group of people around them, to lead them and coach them and direct them and create a movement. There's a lot of people that say this is a movement, but that doesn't mean they have what it takes to lead and be the creator of that. Dr. Garrett has this. He has this. And if he didn't, I wouldn't be making it up and saying it. I'm saying it because I believe in him and I believe in his ability and the way he knows people. And he can look at you and like look into your soul seriously and speak to you heart to heart, but not just in a way of just speaking heart to heart, but in a way of stirring you up and seeing your gifts and getting you moving forward. So this movement that you are creating, Dr. G, to me, it's like an army, only it's not an army that is going out to take the land in a violent way. It's marching together in unison, everybody celebrating their individuality, but walking together triumphantly and taking the land for greatness, for good things, to help people whose eyes are cast down look up, to help them find themselves again. I mean, it's going to be amazing to watch this all unfold. And so I just wanted to say that to y'all who are out there watching live or later, that this guy's the real deal. He is absolutely the real deal. And I'm thrilled and honored, Dr. G, to be a part of this with you, to help build it with you, and to run with it alongside of you. Like, it's just an honor for me. And I'm thrilled that we're going to run alongside of you, Lady Nicole and myself, and so many others. And so you're just amazing. Thank you for inviting us into this part of your journey, because it's really cool.
Well, I'm going to say this jokingly. I didn't have a choice because we've gone through so much, right? There are certain people that I know I want to be a part of this, and that's because there is a mentoring aspect that's involved with this. And so I need people to be, again, because this is going to be a huge thing. And the way it's evolving is blowing my mind, with the people who I'm connecting with this. I mean, we have Trunas Goggins II is going to be a part of this. We have Dr. Pamela. We have Nicole as a publisher. We have one of the head TEDx coaches here in Manitou Springs here in Colorado. People to coach and mentor on how to make this be a thing, to, like I said, to elevate to the next level, and to really bring people. And this is where, like, I want you to just, if you can just feel the passion at this point. I connect with people on so many different times in their life, and part of what they always want to do is, I have the story that I want to share, but I have no idea how to do it. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? What do I do? And some of that's just being an author. Some of that's, I want to be a speaker. But what's really cool about this is, if you just want to be a speaker, then the book piece is going to help you refine that story to allow you to be able to speak to it. And coaching in this aspect with Dr. Pamela, coaching in how do we make this powerful story. And so with people who are going to watch this, to understand that you've worked with some amazing individuals. I mean, Mr. Les Brown, like all these people, the quality of people that are going to be a part of this it's giving me goosebumps at this point in time. Like, I'm really getting kind of fired up, but it's going to be an amazing project to get people to launch people and to elevate people. And so it's for you guys. It was a no-brainer, right? Well, these are who I want, because to have the mentor people, I need to have the people I know who can mentor and do it in a very powerful way.
Yeah. You said two words. You said launch and uplift.
Yes.
Now that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Launch and uplift. Why wouldn't, I'll put it that way, why wouldn't you want to be involved in this anthology?
Right.
Did you hear what Dr. Garrett's heart is? To launch you. Now, we just finished with a book called, Stepping into Your Next Best You, right? So there's always a next. So Dr. Garrett is saying, I want to launch you into your next. I want to uplift you, which means lift you up for all to see. There they are, right there, right? That's beautiful and so powerful. So I want you to hear his heart. It's not about, let's mark it off. We got another author. Let's mark it off. We got another person who paid in full. This is about you, you out there, being uplifted, being inspired, being encouraged, and being launched. So that was super powerful to me, and I had to circle back to it because we heard your heart right there, Dr. Garrett. We heard your heart. Launch, uplift. Wow. Anybody out there not like that idea? And that's why I signed on to be a part of this. I didn't hear those exact words, but I heard it in his heart. This is not about, look at me, Dr. G. And it could be. I'm telling you, it could be. Because he's a pretty amazing fella. But he is saying, I want to launch you. and I'm circling myself in with the right people so that we can equip you to launch you and uplift you. That right there should be enough to get people to, we forgot to say it, click the link in the comments and get involved in this anthology. Miss Nicole, you and I have worked together on many different projects. Just a couple. And whether it has been an anthology or we've been working with an independent author, what stands out to you? And again, please, if Nicole has done work for you, every person that we work with and that she works with is absolutely amazing. But absolutely every author has their uniqueness, right? So what is it that stands out to you about the uniqueness of this project and Dr. Garrett himself?
Well, I've known Dr. G for probably a little over a year, I think. And a little bit more than a year, because we were going to try to connect when we were in Utah. But when we chatted about this project a few months ago, he already had a pretty good idea of what he wanted to do. He had somewhat of a Google Doc already. But when we got off that call, he had already redefined his Google Doc. He had such a precise idea and knew exactly what he wanted to do. And for somebody to know exactly from A to B, I mean, yes, there's always fill in the blanks, how do we get from here to here and all of that. But you could tell how passionate he was about this project, first of all, from when we talked, but also just in the detail. And I'm a detail person, so I want to know the details. And that's the great thing, is if you click on that jot form link that's in the description, you're not going to have too many questions, because there's an awful lot of detail in that. It's probably the most detailed jot form I've ever done for a project, because there's a lot in there. And I love that, because there's not a lot of question when you jump into this project. But what I love the most is that, like you said, it's not just a book. We've done a lot of anthologies that intended to do something with it. It intended to go further. And we've had some anthologies that have been massive bestsellers and that should have been this massive movement after. I mean, you've got one sitting behind you, and that should have been over a year ago, should have been this huge, massive movement, and everybody went their own ways afterwards, and that was it. And it's a shame, because of the reaction that book made or had, that it should have been this movement, and it should have been, and it could have been something amazing. And I love the fact that you're not just making a book, that you're already taking these people that sign up for your book, and it's automatically, okay, you're an author, you're a speaker.
Yes.
That you're tying it together all at once. You're not just, okay, well, let's do the book first, and then later we'll talk about doing speaker. You're tying it all together for the intention of it being, you said movement, but I love you use the word community. And I think that's a big deal. Yes, we have a movement that impacts the world, but having a community, that's something that Dr. Pamela did with her last anthology. We created community, and it made it a huge success, and we all still chat. It makes a huge difference, and I can tell your passion behind the project, and I love the idea of the project itself. The stories of inspiration, empowerment, and success, that covers a lot of different things. You can have a story of inspiration that isn't a business person, or you can have a story of success that's the same way, or it can be a business. So there's going to be a lot of different things in this book. And I've gotten to meet one of your featured authors already, and he's phenomenal, and I can't wait to work with him more, Mr. Trueness. So yeah, I'm excited for the project altogether. I can't wait for people to jump into this project and get to know you more. and get to know Dr. Pamela and all your featured authors as well. I'm just excited for the project in itself and to see where it's going to go after this first book, because we're going to do speaking and all kinds of stuff. So get into that job form, read it. And once you read everything that is involved, you're going to click that link and you're going to join us, because it would be silly not to.
That is so good. It would be silly not to. So
Yeah.
Dr. Garrett, since we're talking about the jot form, and we're talking about click in order, right? So tell us, what is the investment fee? Is it like $5,000?
No, and it's very intentional on that. Again, I'm bringing people in. I want people to come in who there's a lot of fear when you let's just back up just a little bit. When people are new and people who maybe have done a chapter in an anthology, but we're about to go to this next level, there's a lot of fear that's there. And so I wanted to alleviate some of that fear, right? So let's not have fear with the cost on this and have fear with me going, well, now I'm going to speak and whatever. I know I want to, but I'm so scared. So I wanted to make sure that we can make this to where you could, it was a jump in. So it's, the total investment is $750, and that's to be a part of the book and to be a part of the Triumphant. It's the Triumphant Summit. So they're the two go hand in hand, and that gets you all these coaching. There's going to be so many coaching sessions, and there's going to be so many other platforms. So we'll get you in a spot in a couple magazines. You'll be on people's podcasts. You're going to refine your story. There might there's some stuff in the works where maybe they'll be on a YouTube television show. So there's a lot of things going on to get you in those platforms and to get that story, to get that person who you've become, all these stories, get it out there. So so the cost is $750 for the full investment and get you all those things. And the intention, and I think this is why a lot of the other ones that you were talking about is maybe the intention wasn't necessarily there for people. I want people to set the intention that my intention is you'll get that investment back. We're going to teach you how to get that investment back in multiple different ways. And so I had somebody tell me the other day, authors should be paid. I'm like, you know what? They should be. And so let's teach them how to do that, because I think that's a piece that's glossed over sometimes is how do you do this anthology? I talked to somebody else who did an anthology and had this bad taste in their mouth about it because they weren't taught how to take that investment in themselves and have it work for them. And so that's a big piece of this intention is now you can go out there and you have all the tools that you need to do a solo project, right? Write your own book and you'll understand what this looks like. You'll understand what that process, where you need to go with that. You'll understand that when you are on in the Triumphant Summit, that's going to be part of your resume now. This gets you into other platforms and getting on podcasts and understanding that there are so many different ways to take your journey and make it however you want to take it. And we're going to teach you how to do that. So I think I just went and all over the place, but the investment, to answer your question, long story short, is $750.
Oh my gosh, $750, and you're investing into yourself. So you're not investing into Dr. G. You're investing into yourself, and you immediately are having a chapter in the book, a 2,000 word chapter, if I read that correctly. That's big. A lot of anthologies have a much smaller word count. So 2,000 plus all of this education that you're talking about, and it's all in the jot form, so we don't need to go through the whole list, but just click on it and go, holy cow, I get all of this. And on top of that, there is speaking opportunities, not just a podcast, opportunities that are on Dr. G's heart. Creating this movement means we need to keep everything moving. And then on top of it, you've heard his heart, and that is to launch you and uplift you, all for $750. And that is also something that can be made in payments. Am I right on that, Nicole and Dr. G? You can make payments. So this is not going to it's an investment. $750. I don't want to make it sound like it's just a penny that you're dropping in the bucket. But this is not something that is going to, that you're going to have to take out a second mortgage on to be a part of this awesomeness. And with the intention being set from your leader to teach you and instruct you, and especially to show you how to reap a harvest on your hard work, how to make money. That if you come in now with that intention, if you come in and be like, okay, the only intention here that's happening is your leaders. But if you come in with your intention and it meets their intention, we got cross intention happening here, and you are going to walk away so blessed, and you're going to learn so much, and you're going to be ready to do your own anthology. You're going to be ready to do your own works. You're going to be ready to put together your own conference. Really, this is a stepping stone for you. Plus, you're going to be in this book, Dr. G, forever with whoever is in this movement, this family. We're going to be united on pages forever. Like that always amazes me to think about that we're together forever. So I love all of this. So you know what? If you haven't clicked the link above, go for it. And I also wanted to share one more thing, and I'm going to throw the ball back to Dr. Garrett to begin to close us out. You can take this live right now and you can share it with somebody later. You can send it in an email. You can send it in a messenger. You can tag people in it. You probably know somebody that you're like, oh my gosh, they would be perfect for this. So if maybe your part to play is you're going to be part of Dr. G's promo team. You're going to be part of that group that is going to help spread this movement far and wide, So when you're done listening, viewing, please don't walk away from it and go, oh, that was nice. Share it. Les Brown says, like it and share it, right? So like it. If you haven't liked it, please like it. In fact, love it right now. Go ahead. Yeah. And then share it. Be prepared to share it with somebody. If everybody shares it with somebody, we're going to have a whole lot of people that are getting involved in this movement together. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to encourage you to go for it, take the plunge, share the plunge, and let's just follow this incredible leader and let's see what happens. And I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. So Dr. G, I want to throw the ball back to you to start to wind us up in this time together. This has been amazing.
Let me build a little bit on that from what you said too. For people who are hearing this and you had this pulling. See, all my life I've had this pulling to share. My journey is fairly interesting. When there was some anxiety that I had around my journey. So if you're feeling that anxiety, like I want to do this, but there's so much anxiety, I will tell you, and I'm going to say this with all confidence. This is not conceit coming out of my mouth. I'm really good about giving you the belief that you need, because I was there. I had social anxiety to the point where I would pass out in crowds, and I want to bring people with me in this aspect, because you can do it. You can do it. I've done it. A lot of people have been in this position that have overcome the anxiety of sharing the story. And that's one. Two, the other thing that people tell themselves is no one wants to know my story. Who am I? Everybody needs to know your story. And I tell my clients all the time, your story is not yours.
Right.
It's not yours to hold. It's yours to share. It's for everybody else. That's what the story is all about. You go through things in life so that, because God has given you this innate strength right? So that you can go through that, so you can bring people with you. People will look at you and how you're going to share this and say, if that person can go through this, I can overcome too. I can be triumphant in this as well. And that's what this is all about. That's why this is such a huge movement. So don't let that lie, that imposter tell you that no one wants to hear your story, because everybody needs to hear it. It needs to be out into the world. So those are the two major excuses that I always hear. So let's just nip those in the bud right now and say, let's overcome that. And we will overcome that. That's part of what the mentorship and the courses or the master classes are going to help us with. We're going to set those intentions. We're going to make this a thing to where we can all increase that triumphant, right? We can just all be a part of that. So that's how I want to wrap that up, because I want to remove the excuses. I think that's important, is let's remove the excuses and let's go change the freaking world together.
No excuses. Let's go change this freaking world together. It's time to launch.
Yes.
All right. Let's go. All right, everybody. So we're triumphant together. I can't wait to hear about all of the new authors that are coming in, and we're getting all kinds of people blowing up the chat now. No excuses, hand clapping, absolutely what he said. I'm telling you, you guys take this initiative to make a difference. We only make a difference when we choose to. So make a difference with your story and get involved in this anthology and this movement. You'll be so glad you did. All right, we'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.